Hey, you guys, I am back because guess what? I just want to talk to you guys. We're going to do a little video journal, I guess. I kind of did these before, but I just felt like talking to you guys about a few things because life has been lifing, okay? And I'm not sure why it's been doing the most. I don't know why life has been lifing so hard, but it's really been a lot. Ooh, dog's barking, child. It's really been a lot going on. And I'm not really going to edit this video because I just want to talk about how I feel and let it be raw and to the point. And there's been a lot of decisions that I've had to make in the last few weeks and months that haven't been easy decisions, but it's like kind of like a do or die moment where you just have to either, figure it out or flounder. And I don't want to flounder. Like, I don't want to be, failure. I don't want to feel like a failure. I don't want to make mistakes. But I also don't want to be afraid anymore of just doing the things that I feel like are best for me to do. So this video, we're just going to be talking about what happens when you decide to finally do what you want to do and stop doing what other people want you to do. It's a really nice day out here, y'all. It's a beautiful day. The sun is shining. The trees are treeing. Okay, it's a lot going on. But I don't know if you guys have noticed lately, but there's a lot of constraints being put on us as human beings. Like, there's a lot of different influences that want us to make certain decisions and want us to move in certain directions. And I'm not sure about y'all, but me personally, I don't like doing what I'm told to do. Maybe that's a flaw or a toxic trait, whatever you want to call it. But I don't like doing what other people want me to do. I want to do what I want to do. And it's not like I want to hurt anybody or make anybody feel bad by me doing what I want to do. It's just more so of me want to do what I want to do. And it really doesn't have anything to do with anybody else. It just has a lot to do with my happiness and how I feel on a day-to-day basis. And I have noticed over the past few months, because of the hard decisions that I've had to make personally in my life, that a lot of people get very upset when you don't do things the way that they want you to do it or when they want you to do it. And it causes you to become someone who is attacked or made to feel bad for your choices, as if those choices are negative in some way, when in reality you're just doing what it is that you really want to do, right? Like, a lot of us have parents or partners or friends or siblings, family members who want us to really live our life according to what makes them feel comfortable. And that's just something that I'm not going to do anymore. And I made a decision about this, and the backlash, you guys, that I have gotten from making that decision has been crazy, okay? It's been crazy how many people that have turned on me, either overtly or covertly, because I've chosen not to live my life for them. Honestly, I just feel like life is too short. I mean, the way that time has passed by since I graduated high school and got into the workforce and basically had to be an adult doing adult things. I'm looking at a bee. There's a bee flying right there, so I'm being cautious. But the way that I have seen time fly from that point to now, being very close to my mid-30s, approaching my mid-30s, there's no time to waste. There's no time like the present. And I really don't see a point in living your life for other people, because at the end of the day, when you live your life for other people, you end up being miserable anyway. I just feel like I wanted to talk about that, because I feel like a lot of you guys who maybe found this video or have found this channel probably have tried to please people a lot in your life. You've probably been the person who was always trying to like keep the peace or be the bigger person, or like not make waves in a situation because you didn't want for others to be upset. You probably tiptoe around and walk on eggshells because you don't want anybody to be offended or hurt by what it is that you do. But more than likely, from the time that you were probably very little, people more than likely were making you feel as if, well, not really quotations, but they were making you feel like that's what you were doing. They were projecting an energy of negativity or disgust or embarrassment onto you so that you would feel like you were doing something wrong by just being yourself, but in reality you weren't, right? And I think a lot of you who are watching this are probably tired of that, and you're starting to realize how much it's really affected your life. You're starting to realize how much it's really put you in a negative position because you've literally been living your life for other people. And I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with realizing it. There's nothing wrong with the fact that you may have done it. There's nothing wrong with now being tired of it and wanting to do something different. The thing that's wrong, I feel, is if you don't make a change, even though you may know you want to make a change. And when I say that, for the last few months, since I've started basically telling people no more, and since I've started kind of like separating and distancing myself from people, folks don't like that, okay? Folks do not like when you take your power back. People don't like when you tell them no, especially when you've been telling them yes for so long and you've always kind of like tried to please everyone, okay? Because this could go back to people pleasing, and that goes back to like a fear of abandonment. And like when you finally are no longer afraid of people leaving you, and you're finally no longer afraid of like just the situation blowing up, you feel strong, you feel powerful, you know that you can do whatever it is that you put your mind to, because you're no longer scared of like the backlash or the blowback of making the decision that you really want to make, okay? Oh man, my butt hurts on the concrete. I'm just sitting out here chilling. But this is the thing. I don't want you guys to be afraid of doing that. I don't want you guys to think that it's something that you can't do or there's something that you shouldn't do. Because like if you look at the royal family, if you look at like people with a lot of wealth, like because I was watching this video about like the royal family and like Queen Victoria and all of her children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, and like how as time goes on, like people veer off and they choose to make their own decisions, and it kind of like crumbles a structure that probably was already built on a shaky foundation. And if you look at a lot of Queen Victoria's lineage, okay, and the people who came after her, right, you will see as time goes on, as you get further and further in the family tree and the bloodline, that they really didn't really care that much about their royalty or the titles that they were going to get or the castles that they might have. They cared more about their happiness. And even if they had marriages that failed or went through divorces, or, you know, maybe things didn't work out perfectly, it's like the fact that they made those choices to do what it is that they felt was best for them, you could tell, like it showed that that was what was meant to happen anyway, that whatever structure their ancestors or parents or grandparents were trying to uphold was going to end up crumbling anyway, because now we know that there's not a lot of royalty, there's not a lot of like monarchies that are lasting and still as strong as how they were at their peak, right? And that I'm thinking about that commercial. Like, I think it's like a trip commercial. Like, it's not TripAdvisor, but it's like, I don't know. It's not Expedia either. I don't know what company it is. But y'all put it in the comments. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When I'm filming, I can never remember what I want to remember. But then I'll think about it later. Whatever. But in the commercial, they say, like, just like cities, or not cities, but just like, what is it called? It's kind of like, just like monarchies, prices rise and fall, right? Or just like empires, that's what it is. Just like empires, prices rise and fall, right? So there's always going to be a flow of positive and negative energy. And when you realize the flow of the positive and negative energy, and then you learn how to like use it to your advantage and, you know, make it work in your favor, you'll realize that there's going to be ebbs and flows. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be peaks and valleys. And sometimes a part of those peaks and valleys, when it comes to you making decisions for yourself and doing what it is that you really feel called to do, it's going to come with people like supporting you and then people not supporting you. It's going to come with a lot of happiness and joy for your presence, and then it's going to come with a lot of hatred. And like, it's more so necessary for you to ride the wave than to try to avoid all of those peaks and valleys. When you think about social media, you think about like YouTube, Instagram, views, likes, clicks. When people try to like go with the crowd, they always fail. Like, when people try to please the crowd and they try to like make sure that they're not upsetting anyone and they're always doing what the crowd wants them to do, it comes back later like a boomerang. And a lot of times you'll find that people who have done that or been that way, they have probably cheated the system or done something kind of like negative or hateful in order to keep that top spot. A lot of people on social media are being exposed for the things that they've done, and it's because in the moment, in order to avoid some type of negative blowback, they just did what they felt like they had to do to keep people watching or to keep people listening or to keep people on their side. But then the things that are going on behind the scenes or underneath the surface, or the ways that they have manipulated the system to stay in that top spot, it's like later on, it's a problem. Just like a monarchy. They colonized many different races, religions, countries, regions in order to keep the top spot, but it's like now it's being observed as something very negative, and the blowback of those decisions are coming back to haunt these different people. So that's why I say, at the end of the day, like, what I've just noticed lately is that it doesn't matter what I do, somebody's always going to be upset. Somebody's always going to have a problem. Somebody's always going to catch an attitude. And I just have to tell you guys that I might be looking weird because there's a guy in my neighborhood who's watching me from the other side of the neighborhood, and he's weird. Weird. I'm just saying, like, weird. I know I'm not looking at the camera, but he's weird. And he's like watching me film. That's neither here nor there. You got to be able to do what you're going to do regardless of, you know, who's watching. So I'm going to continue to do me. But I just wanted to share this with you guys because, like, I've gotten people lately who get upset about my choices to live for myself, and they will overtly, like, come at me with hatred or negativity and say mean things or try to hurt me in some way. And then I have people who are more covert, where, like, behind the scenes, they'll be talking about me and they think I don't know, or they'll be saying negative things to try to, like, make me feel bad about my choices in a sarcastic or subliminal way. And it's just like, you know, at the end of the day, I don't care. I really don't care anymore. I do not care about other people's feelings when it comes to like trying to protect people. Okay? Y'all, we just outside. Listen, I enjoy being outside. I just feel like I just wanted to talk to y'all about it. But yeah, it's like I don't care about people's feelings when it comes to trying to protect their feelings over protecting my own like sanity. And I'm not saying like I'm being mean or rude to anyone. Like I'm literally making choices that are best for me. And because it doesn't benefit certain people around me, they want to make it seem like I'm this horrible person. And at the bottom of the whole situation, like at the end of the day, the bottom line is that if you're going to be the villain to someone just because you make a choice that's best for you, and that choice isn't hurting anyone, it's more so helping you to succeed, then don't be afraid to be that villain, because you're always going to be the villain in somebody's story. You're never always going to be loved by all and praised by all, because that in reality is fake. That's not even really possible, like in my mind. And when people try to have this idea that they can do this and accomplish that, being loved by everyone and not having any enemies, that's when you lose your mind. Like that's when you go crazy and you end up doing things that are really out of your character and against what it is that you know is right, just to try to keep that position. So I don't know what y'all are going through. I don't know what you might be dealing with. I don't know how, you could be feeling at this moment. But more than likely, if you caught this video and you found this video, it's because you're probably tired of having to constantly, walk on eggshells to please people. And you're probably at your wit's end about it. And you're trying to make a decision about whether or not your decisions are going to start to reflect what it is that you really want. So I'm here to tell you, start doing things that are best for you. And it doesn't mean that you have to be a bitch or an asshole or treat people badly, but it also doesn't mean that you have to be treated badly as well. It's just a matter of, the choice that you choose to make. So I hope this helped you guys. Be sure to like the video, subscribe, continue to catch the vibe, and I will see y'all next time. Bye.